பண்ணுற இந்த ஓரியன்டேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட 3 வருஷமாக நடந்துக்கிட்டு இருக்கு. ஸோ இந்த வருஷம் வந்து இன்னும் சிறப்பாக we have a lot of participants. So this is proudly presented by ERIP movement. So first I want to give a short introduction on what this ERIP movement is. So let me start with a gist of what ERIP movement is. So ERIP movement was started in the year 1990s to voice out for the educational rights of the Pondicherry students who are studying in Pondicherry. Oh no, the indigenous people who are in Pondicherry. So this movement actually advocates for the educational rights, that is 25% reservation for the people for the people who are in Pondicherry in the university which is located in their union territory. So we have done a lot of measures. We have carried out signature campaigns. We have carried out rallies to spread the potency of this ERIP movement. And finally, as a part of empowering students to easily get into Pondicherry University, we have taken this initiative of conducting orientation program for Pondicherry University. So that is why we all are here today. We are really happy to have all of you here. As a measure, it was started specifically for Tamil students or like பாண்டிச்சேரியில் இருக்கிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு வந்து நிறைய ரிசர்வேஷன் கிடைக்கணும்னு ஆரம்பிச்ச ஒரு விஷயம். இன்னைக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் வந்து ரொம்ப வெல்கமிங்காக அக்ராஸ் கல்ச்சர்ஸ், அக்ராஸ் ஆல் லாங்குவேஜஸ் இன்னைக்கு எல்லாத்தையும் வந்து ஒரு விதத்தில் எம்பவர் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு இங்கே இருக்கிறது வந்து எங்களுக்கு ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கு. அதை பண்ணுறதுக்கு வந்து நாங்கள் இன்னும் மேலும் மேலும் முயற்சி எடுத்துட்டு இருக்கோம். ஸோ தட் இஸ் வாட் ERIP movement is. So just like how we all of us are here for this orientation on MSc Food Science and Nutrition and Food Science and Technology, let us get on with the orientation program. So the first facilitator who is going to carry on with the session today is Ms. Indumati. She is a postgraduate student in MSc Food Science and Nutrition from Pondicherry University. She actually bagged a 6th rank in Pondicherry University entrance exam and has always been a shining star in our class. So I welcome Ms. Indumati to carry on with the session.
Thank you, Malika, for your great words and for your great inspiring introduction. Let me get into the meeting. I hope everyone are in good health and mind. Let's see what we are going to see in this meeting. We are going to see things like scope of the streams, eligibility, facilities of the department, entrance exam syllabus, books needs to be prepared, question paper analysis, preparation strategy, course outline, reservation, fee structure, and scholarship. Let me take you all first through the scope of the food science, nutrition, and technology. Knowing a diversified scope will help you to know what you like to do and how to proceed with your interests in the career. Let me begin the scope with the nutrition. Of course, we have come to know the importance of nutrition during this pandemic time. Thanks to our diversity in our food groups that is available with many bioactive ingredients and nutraceuticals, there is a truth that have come true now. Let food be the medicine. Coming to the scope of the nutrition, the first thing is like a registered dietitian. One can give for an exam, early exam, and can become a registered dietitian. And clearing an exam will make you a community development officer. And that is a scope for public health and wellness officer. And the next thing is specialty nutritionists. Like some people, nutritionists are expert in nutrition, enteric nutrition, pediatric nutrition, and so on. So if you are really interested in expertized specialty nutrition, you can go for that. The next thing is nutrition consultants. In these times, many and many MNCs will invite nutrition consultants to keep their employees' health in a good state. So it is also a great scope area. The next thing is Food and Nutrition Board. It is a board under the Department of the Ministry of Women's and Child Development. It has been started in the year of 1964. The nutritionists have a great role in this Food and Nutrition Board. These are the scopes that are available, especially for nutritionists. Let me take you into the food technology. We know that our India is diversified with many cultures and languages and many food industries. There are many big players like Amul, Nestle, Hindustan Unilever, Britannia, Cadbury, and so on. Like the same way, there are many industries like beverage industry, dairy industry, ingredient industry. Like when we are noticing a package, at the back of the package, we will notice the ingredients listed. This industry will produce the ingredients like preservatives, additives for the products. This in the ingredient industry will produce that, and snack industries, frozen food industries, meat industry, and many spice processing boards are also there. These industries will have a role like food technologist, food analyst. There are many private and government labs in India. They employ food analysts to check the quality of the food to be analyzed. And the next important department in the many food industries is research and development department. We are always coming up with many new products in the market. This is because of the research and development team. Many industries will keep their R&D department to keep in the trend of the market. Then the next thing is food safety. If someone is really interested in food safety and toxicological studies and all, one can really opt for food safety related careers. And the next thing is internal food safety auditor. There are many standardized boards like HACCP, ICO, ISO, and many. These internal food auditors will check whether the company complies the regulations that are given by HACCP, ISO. If they got certified, they have to maintain the regulations. The internal food auditor will check whether they are complying or not. And the next one is food production manager. The main area of food industry is always focused on food production, producing many products. One can opt for a food production manager in this area. And the next department is quality control and assurance. This will look for how quality food is produced and whether the process is complying with the quality and the market standards and all. And the next thing is marketing and management. Food technology peoples are really into marketing and management also. Let me come into the general scope for both the nutrition stream as well as the food technology stream. The first one is, let's come into the regulatory stream like FSSAI. In India, FSSAI is the regulatory body for food standards. There are many roles like food safety officers, designator officers, food analysts, and many commissioners and all will come under FSSAI. And the second one is regulatory body like ISO. They even employ food technology people in their firms, and Bureau of Indian Standards, BIS also employs food technology people. The next one is FCI, Food Commission of India. There also the importance of food stream is prioritized. The next one is NABARD. It is like an agricultural banking. They also give importance to the people from food background. The next thing is food ministries of India. There are many ministries that are involved in the food, like Ministry of Food Processing Industries, Ministry of Health and Welfare Development, and the Ministry of Women and Child Development. These are the ministries that are really into the food sector. They develop many schemes like Prime Minister schemes and all will be there. They will help to set up many small firms and cold chain supplies that and all. They will give support for the new startups and schemes. The next thing is entrepreneurship. If somebody is really into creating their own firm and getting it big, one can really go for entrepreneurship and create their own food brand with their own food product. And last but not least, teaching and research is one of the major scope in this field. One can clear UGC NET, JRF like exams to get into research areas. Okay, I think I have covered most of the possible scope in this area. Let me get you all into the eligibility for this course. If you are really interested to join Food Science and Nutrition course here, they have given an eligibility list like you should have degree from either of this. BSc from Food Nutrition or Food Technology, Food Science, Clinical Nutrition, Dietetics of Composite, General Home Science, Biochemistry, Biotechnology, Microbiology, Chemistry, Agriculture, Dairy, Fisheries at BSc, Ayurvedic bachelors like BAMS and BSMS. This is the stream. If you are from this stream, one of the streams, you are eligible for getting into MSc Food Science and Nutrition. The next stream is Food Science and Technology. The eligibility criteria is you should have completed a degree from either BSc, BTech degree in Agriculture or Agricultural Engineering, Food Technology, Home Science, Food Science and Nutrition, Food Science and Quality Control, Clinical Nutrition, Biochemistry, Biotechnology, Microbiology. They have given like mathematics in a +1 and +2 or PUC level is compulsory, but they have an exemption for students from BSc, BTech, Food Science and Technology or Food Technology. Let me take you into the next topic. It is about the department facilities. Due to this current pandemic situation, we couldn't get into the university in physical, but university is well equipped with these facilities like food processing pilot plant, canning and retard unit, spraying drying unit, modified as atmospheric packaging unit, industrial baking unit, freeze drying unit, tray dryer, and fluidized bed dryer. Okay, in case if you are having any doubt, please put your doubts in the chat box. I would like to invite Ms. Malika from, she is a PG student from ICMR MIN to proceed with the session. Thank you.
Thank you, Anju. Is my screen visible?
Yes, Malika, it's visible now.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Indu. Before starting on with the session, I want all of you guys to go with respond to me in way. Even though I can't see you guys responding, I want you guys to respond. In the chat box, yes or no or something. I just want you to know that you guys are with me when I go through the slides and when I explain things. So that's the deal. I explain and you guys respond to me. So what I am going to deal here is just the framework for the entrance exam, how the entrance exam works, what we can study. So I'm going to give you a basic framework. So let's just get started on. Um, so anyone who is going to write an entrance exam will have the question, what will be the syllabus for the entrance exam? So in regard with that, I would say that the syllabus for the entrance exam is like, I can give you a basic outline. Like I wouldn't say that this is what will come for entrance exam and this is what that will not come for entrance exam, because this is a university exam and there is no such thing as a syllabus. So there is no syllabus, but there is a general outline of how the questions can be or where the questions can come. So based on that, for MSc Food Science and Nutrition, the question paper will consist of, this is something that I took from the university website and it is authentic. You can find this also in the university website yourselves. So for MSc Food Science and Nutrition, the question paper will consist of 100 multiple choice questions in human physiology, food microbiology, biochemistry, food science, nutrition, dietetics, and all the other allied areas. So for MSc Food Science and Technology, which also comes under the Department of Food Science and Technology, the course is actually under the Department of Food Science and Technology. So for the course MSc Food Science and Technology, the question paper will consist of 100 multiple choice questions from the subjects basic mathematics, food microbiology, biochemistry, food science, food process engineering, and agriculture engineering and allied sciences. So the important points that we have to note here is, as I told you earlier, there is no stipulated like this is what is going to come for entrance exam. And இந்த இதெல்லாம் வந்து entrance examல வராது, அந்த மாதிரி எந்த ஒரு வரைமுறைகளும் கிடையாது. General university norms வந்து entrance examக்கான general university norms இருக்குல்ல, so all the norms will be applicable. Like for example, you have to be, for the entrance exam, for clearing the entrance exam or for writing the entrance exam, you have to be physically present. So there will be like a center where you have to go write an exam, and the exam will be computer based as I've given here. And after that, after writing the exams, the result will be out. The results will be like the students will be ranked, and after that, based on reservations, there'll be a release of selection list. So if you are in the selection list, you will come. I know that this is really an early stage for you to to want to know all of this, because what I feel is that at this point of time, these things like dealing about ranking or how the entrance is going to be, like these are trivial things. இதெல்லாம் வந்து சின்ன விஷயங்கள். So these are trivial things. You don't have to focus so much on that. I've just put this on the slide so that you can have an idea of what it is going to be. You don't have to take it like so seriously, but you have to be aware of this. So next, coming on to the topic, like what will be in aptitude. Whether your entrance exam will have. Yeah.
Alika?
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Slides are not changing. Yeah, it's okay now.
It's fine.
Yeah. You're in aptitude, right?
Yeah, I'm in aptitude. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So next we are going on to the aptitude in entrance exam syllabus. Okay, so here I want to talk about a couple of things. So if you compare the question paper from past years, last இயருக்கு முன்னாடி, லைக் 2015க்கு முன்னாடி வந்த கொஸ்டின் பேப்பர்லாம் வந்து நீங்கள் எடுத்து பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா அதில் நிறைய ஆப்டிடியூட் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கும். ரிலேட்டட் டு குவான்டிடேட்டிவ் ஆப்டிடியூடாக இருக்கட்டும், இல்லை லாஜிக்கல் ரீசனிங்காக இருக்கட்டும், அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சில கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வந்து அங்கங்கே ஸ்பேர்ஸாக இருக்கும், பட் கொஸ்டின்ஸ் இருக்கும். 2015க்கு முன்னாடி வந்த கொஸ்டின்ஸ்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா அந்த மாதிரி இருக்கும். பட் லாஸ்ட் ஃபியூ இயர்ஸாக ஒரு மேபி சே லைக் 2018, 2019, 20 இந்த இயர்ஸ்லலாம் வந்து இன்ஃபேக்ட் வந்து 2019-2020 வந்து கொஷின் பேப்பர்ஸே நம்மக்கிட்ட இல்லை. ஸோ ஆனால் வந்து சின்ஸ் லாஸ்ட் இயர் நாங்கள்லாம் வந்து எக்ஸாம் எழுதுனதுனால வி ஆர் அவேர் தட் எங்களுக்கு வந்து தெரியும் லாஸ்ட் இயர் வந்து ஆப்டிடியூட் கேட்கல அப்படின்னு. பட் நிறைய பேர் வந்து ஆப்டிடியூட் கேட்பாங்க அப்படின்னு வந்து ரொம்ப எக்ஸ்பெக்ட் பண்ணாங்க. பட் ஆப்டிடியூட் வந்து லாஸ்ட் இயர் வந்து கேட்கல. ஸோ what I'm actually trying to say is that last 2015க்கு முன்னாடி இருக்கிற பேப்பர்ஸ்லாம் ஆப்டிடியூட் கொஷின்ஸ் இருந்திருக்கு. பட் லாஸ்ட் இயர்லலாம் வந்து ஆப்டிடியூட் இல்லை. ஸோ த for based on aptitude it is like kind of biased. வருமா வராதா அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு நடுநிலையில வந்து ஆப்டிடியூட் வந்து எக்ஸாம்ல கேட்பாங்களா இல்லை கேட்க மாட்டாங்களா அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து அது ரிலேட்டடா நமக்கு ஒரு நடுநிலையான ஒப்பீனியன் இருக்கு. ஸோ அப்படி பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா தென் ஐ வுட் சஜஸ்ட் யூ டு டேக் அ ப்ரிகாஷன் அண்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் ஃபார் ஆப்டிடியூட் ஆல்சோ. நீங்கள் வந்து குவான்டிடேட்டிவ் ஆப்டிடியூட் ட்ரை பண்ணலாம், லாஜிக்கல் ரீசனிங், இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சில சின்ன சின்ன ஆப்டிடியூட் புக்ஸ் எல்லாம் இருக்கும்ல. ஸோ அதுலேருந்தும் வந்து நீங்கள் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி வச்சுக்கலாம் ஃபார் யோர் சேஃபர் சைட். பிகாஸ் சில கோர்சஸில் நம்ம கோர்ஸில் கூட வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 20 கொஷின்ஸ் வந்து ஆப்டிடியூட்ல கேட்பாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. ஸோ just to be on the safer side, I would suggest you to prepare for aptitude also. Yeah. So before going on to this slide, I just want you guys to, just close your eyes for a couple of minutes and recollect whatever. Just close your eyes and feel relaxed before looking at the slide. I know this slide is really overwhelming. எனக்கு புரியுது, இந்த ஸ்லைட் வந்து பார்த்தா வந்து யாராக இருந்தாலும் வந்து ஓவர்வெல்மிங்காக தான் ஃபீல் பண்ணுவாங்க. பட் ஐ ஜஸ்ட் வாண்ட் யூ ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ கைஸ் டு க்ளோஸ் யுவர் ஐஸ் அண்ட் ட்ரை டு டேக் அ கப்புள் ஆஃப் டீப் பிரெத்ஸ் அண்ட் லிசன் டு வாட் ஐ ஆம் சேயிங். ஸோ த திங் இஸ் தட் we all have been through a lot in this past 1 year. A lot of things has changed. We have been into quarantine and we have been into lockdown for a long time. We have not met our friends. So and it is one of the important things is that we are all going online. So it is very difficult for us to cope with that. I totally understand how all of you guys are feeling and I empathize with all of you guys. So and the thing is that for some of you guys this online has become very difficult. I totally understand that and I empathize with you guys. And another thing is that some of you guys are here right now in this webinar. இங்க இருக்கிறதுக்கே வந்து ஒரு சிலருக்கு வந்து ரொம்ப ஓவர்வெல்மிங்கா இருக்கும். நான் ஒரு பெரிய ஸ்டெப் எடுக்க போறேன் அப்படின்னு வந்து நினைக்கிறதுக்கு கண்டிப்பா ஓவர்வெல்மிங்கா இருக்கும். I've also been in that stage. I understand you guys, but I would advise you guys or I would suggest you guys to change your perception. Yeah, who's that? Okay. So I would suggest you guys to not look at this with apprehension or fear. இதை பற்றி வந்து பார்த்து ஒரு பயமோ இல்லை இவ்வளோ படிக்கிறதுக்கு இருக்கு அப்படின்னு பயத்தோடையோ இல்லை ஃபியரோடையோ வந்து பார்க்காம இது வந்து ஒரு கியூரியாசிட்டியோட அப்ரோச் பண்ணுங்க. I think that will give you a good positive thing to think about. ஒரு கியூரியாசிட்டியோட அப்ரோச் பண்ணுங்க. Try to be curious about it. So this I know this slide can be really overwhelming. Yes, it looks it gives a list of books that you have to study. I'll give you a short explanation of how you can go about it. For some people might be cross majors here. I understand them also. Like there is 2 sections of books here. One is the basic books and one is the high-end books. So I'll start with the basic book. The basic book is something that will give you yeah. Oh, okay, it's okay, fine.
It's in the website.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Yeah. So this is the slide about reference books. I know it. Actually, when I told that it will be overwhelming for you to see the slides, I actually meant this reference book slide because there is a lot of reference book in the slide and you will feel overwhelmed seeing all of this. I'll just go about explaining this. So this basic book is for your fundamental knowledge, making your fundamentals very clear and making your fundamentals strong. So as I told earlier, like as we discussed this syllabus earlier, you have biochemistry. So for that you can use Harper's textbook of biochemistry, and there will be concepts from food preservation and food spoilage. For that, Frazier book, Food Preservation by Frazier, is a really good book. And another thing, like there was also syllabus in the syllabus there was something related to food science, right? So for food science, Sri Lakshmi is good, and for dietetics also you can refer the Sri Lakshmi book. And this book, like Food Microbiology by Adam and Moses, this has a lot of concepts related to food microbiology, basic food microbiology, like not something related to bacteriology, இல்ல bacteria, fungi, அது பத்தி இல்லாம ஃபுட் மைக்ரோபயாலஜி அண்ட் ஃபுட் ப்ரிசர்வேஷனில் அதோட பேசிக்ஸ் இருக்கும்ல, ஸோ அந்த பேசிக்ஸ் வந்து இந்த புக்கில் இருக்கும். நெக்ஸ்ட் வந்து ஃபுட் ப்ராசஸ் இன்ஜினியரிங் அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி பை Zuckerberg. This was suggested by one of my friends. I also wrote food science and technology entrance exam. So food science and technology entrance examல வந்து இந்த யூனிட் ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் ரிலேட்டடாக வந்து நிறையா கொஷின்ஸ் வந்து வரும். ஸோ அந்த யூனிட் ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் இல்லை like rheological methods in food processing, so அந்த மாதிரி ரிலேட்டடான டாபிக்ஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் food process engineering and technology, some of the people who might be into food science and technology will know what I'm talking about. Rheological matters, Newtonian fluid, non-Newtonian fluid, ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி கொஷின்ஸ்லாம் வந்து நிறையா வரும். ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து நீங்கள் யூனிட் ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் அண்ட் அதர் ஃபுட் ப்ராசஸிங் இன்ஜினியரிங் கான்செப்ட்ஸில் வந்து நீங்கள் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்ட்ராங்காக இருக்கணும். ஸோ for that you can try to refer this book. The last book is specifically for food science and technology students. So ஏன் வந்து நான் இங்கே ஹை அண்ட் புக்ஸ்ன்னு இன்னொரு கண்டென்ட் வந்து போட்டிருக்கேன் அப்படின்னா, சம்டைம்ஸ் இட் இஸ் குட் டு கோ டீப்பர் அண்ட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் த அதில் இருக்கிற நுவான்சஸ்லாம் வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது வந்து கொஞ்சம் முக்கியம். ஸோ அதுக்காக தான் வந்து இந்த ஹை அண்ட் புக்ஸ். ஸோ ஃபார் ஹை அண்ட் புக்ஸ் வில் ஹெல்ப் யூ கெட் மோர் எக்ஸ்போஷர் டு தட் பர்டிகுலர் கான்செப்ட். ஸோ அதுக்காக இந்த ஹை அண்ட் புக்ஸ் நான் வந்து இங்கே புக் கொடுத்துருக்கேன். It will be really good if you refer these books, but you don't have to push yourself too much. You can just try it out. Okay, so high-end books la vandu there is a book called Food Science and Technology by Norman Porter. You can refer that book. And there is another book called Food Facts and Principles by Shubhangini Joshi. For microbiology, you can refer Pelzer. For food chemistry. For this food chemistry book, I have personally studied this food chemistry book, and this is one of my favorite books, in fact, for concepts related to browning and Maillard reaction browning, and concepts related to carbohydrate food chemistry. So those concepts will be really detailedly explained in this book. But if you have the patience to read and if you want to explore, you can definitely go for this book. And for food science and technology students, sometimes questions will also be asked from food product development. So for that, you can refer this book, Food Product Development by Mary Earl. So you might be wondering, where can I get these books? இந்த புக்கெல்லாம் வந்து எங்கே கிடைக்கும் அப்படின்னு வந்து நீங்கள் நினச்சிக்கிட்டு இருந்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, then you can probably find these books in Library Genesis or PDF Drive. I myself have downloaded books from these two websites, so you can go for these websites. So going on to the next thing, question paper analysis. So syllabus முடிச்சாச்சு. We have discussed about what books we can refer. Next comes to the question paper. Question paper வந்து எப்படி இருக்கும் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு கியூரியாசிட்டி வந்து கண்டிப்பாக எல்லாத்துக்கும் இருக்கும். ஸோ I'll give you a basic gist. இப்படி இருக்க போகுது அப்படின்னு ஒரு ரொம்ப பேசிக்கான ஒரு அவுட்லைன் வந்து நான் கொடுக்குறேன். ஸோ இட்ஸ் லைக் இது ரொம்ப லாஜிக்கலான ஒரு விஷயமும் கூட. நமக்கு எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் வந்து இன்ட்ரெஸ்டடாக இருக்கும் அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்லேருந்து தானே நம்ம கொஸ்டின்ஸ் எடுப்போம். ஜஸ்ட் லைக் தட். அதே மாதிரி பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் இருக்க ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி வந்து ஒவ்வொரு சில ஃபேக்கல்ட்டி வந்து ஒவ்வொரு சில சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸில் வந்து ஸ்பெஷலைசேஷன் பண்ணுறாங்க. ஸோ என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாமுக்கு வந்து கொஷின் பேப்பர் வந்து ரெடி பண்ணும்போது அவங்களுக்கு எந்த சப்ஜெக்ட் வந்து ரொம்ப ஸ்பெஷலைசேஷனாக இருக்காங்களோ அந்த சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்லேருந்து கொஷின்ஸ் வந்து வர்றது ரொம்ப காமனான ஒரு விஷயம். நீங்கள் பாஸ்ட் கொஷின் பேப்பர்ஸ் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னாலே வந்து அது உங்களுக்கு நல்லாவே தெரியும். like you will be able to correlate. இதே டாபிக்ல இருந்து நிறைய கொஸ்டின்ஸ் வருது அப்படின்னு you will be able to understand, you will be able to form a outline of how the question paper is actually is. So yeah, coming on to one more important point. மோஸ்டா யார் வந்து இந்த என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாம் வந்து எழுதுறக்கு ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றதுக்கு ஸ்டார்ட் பண்ணாலுமே எல்லாத்துக்கும் ஒரு பெரிய கொஸ்டின் இருக்கும், இந்த என்ட்ரன்ஸ் எக்ஸாம் ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் வந்து எங்கிருந்து ஸ்டார்ட் பண்றது அப்படின்னு. ஸோ நான் என்ன சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணுவேன்னா, உங்களோட யூஜி சிலபஸ், இன்கேஸ் நீங்க வந்து ஃபுட் சயின்ஸ், ஃபுட் அண்ட் நியூட்ரிஷன், கிளினிக்கல் நியூட்ரிஷன் ஆர் ஃபுட் சயின்ஸ் அண்ட் டெக்னாலஜி, எனி இந்த நியூட்ரிஷன் அண்ட் ஃபுட் சயின்ஸ், இந்த நியூட்ரிஷன் ஃபுட் சயின்ஸ் டெக்னாலஜி கேடர்ல எந்த ரேஞ்ச்ல வந்தாலுமே you can start with your UG syllabus. That is always the best place to start. ஏன் சொல்றேன் அப்படிங்கிறது நெக்ஸ்ட் ஸ்லைட்ல சொல்றேன் நான். So why am I actually telling that UG syllabus and subjects is the best place to start? Because all the entrance exam question papers will come from your UG subject. யூஜி சப்ஜெக்ட் இல்லை யூஜியில் வந்து ஒருத்தவங்களுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு நாலேஜ் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு ஃபேக்கல்டிஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணுறாங்களோ, ஸோ அந்த ரேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் கொஷின்ஸ்லேருந்து தான் வந்து, அந்த ரேஞ்ச் ஆஃப் டாபிக்ஸ்லேருந்து தான் வந்து கொஷின்ஸ் வரும். ஐ ஹோப் தட் மேக்ஸ் சென்ஸ் டு ஆல் ஆஃப் யூ. யூஜியோட அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங்கில் எந்த அளவுக்கு வந்து யூஜியில் இந்த அளவுக்கு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் இருந்தால் போதும் அப்படின்னு நினைக்கிற சப்ஜெக்ட்ஸ்லேருந்து டாபிக்ஸ்லேருந்து தான் வந்து கொஷின்ஸ் வரும். ரொம்ப டீப்பாக ஹை எண்ட் கொஷின்ஸ்லாம் வந்து கேட்க மாட்டாங்க. த ரீசன் வை ஐ சஜஸ்டட் ஹை எண்ட் புக்ஸ் இஸ் தட் இட் வில் கிவ் யூ அ கோரிலேஷன், ஒரு இன்டர்லிங்க் வந்து உங்களுக்கு அந்த ஹை எண்ட் புக்ஸ்லேருந்து கிடைக்கும். அதனால தான் நான் சஜஸ்ட் பண்ணேன். தெர் இஸ் நோ கம்பல்ஷன் டு ரீட் தட். யா. So questions in the entrance exam will correspond to the undergraduate subjects in BSc Food Science, Nutrition or Food Technology majors. So I would suggest you to refer and prepare for the entrance exam from your undergraduate degree syllabus. சரிங்களா? Okay. So இப்போ வந்து many of the people who are out there want to actually do a cross major. They are from a different discipline and they want to try out food science and nutrition. Food science and nutrition வந்து scope இருக்கு. Yes, I want to do food science and nutrition. There are people who are enthusiastic about it and who want to try it out. So for those people, I would suggest you to try and reach out to people from your college or your known circle who are studying in food science and nutrition. அவங்க கிட்ட இருந்து syllabus வாங்கி you guys try to prepare. So that is one thing that you guys can do. Because I find that it is one of the easiest ways, so one of the easiest resource that you can reach out and get and start preparing. Yeah. So next, if you go to the preparation strategy, as we discussed earlier, you can start preparing from your UG syllabus. You can start and another before going on further, some people are really good in understanding, learning things from books and text. Some people really absorb everything that is shown in the video. Some people are very good listening to lectures. So I would suggest you to try and find out what works for you. Try and find out which method works for you and experiment with it and go on. That is one thing. So you can read from books or text, watch videos from YouTube and listen to audios. You can so this is the basis of preparation. This is how you prepare. Like this is how you can prepare. If there are other ways, you are totally free to experiment and do. And the second thing comes to evaluation. So that is when you repeatedly take up test series from previous question papers. There are a lot of quiz bots from Telegram, and there are various other resources where you can evaluate yourself. There are various ways, various resources where you can evaluate yourself and find out where you stand. So that is another important thing that you can do. Another thing is that positive reinforcement of preparation. So it's not just the entrance exam. You put application, you write entrance exam, எழுதி முடிச்சுட்டு ரிசல்ட் வருது. It's not going to be like that. It is a journey. It's a journey that has ups and downs. So in that journey, I would suggest you to have positive reinforcement of preparation. So positive reinforcement of preparation na enna appadina you might wonder. So இது என்னன்னா, நீங்க ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்றது வந்து நீங்களே வந்து செல்ஃப் அப்ரிசியேஷன், செல்ஃப் அக்னாலேஜ்மெண்ட் தட் யூ ஆர் ட்ரைங் இனஃப். உங்களுக்கே வந்து நீங்கள் ட்ரீட் கொடுத்துக்கிறது இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஸ்டடிங் யூனோ குட் ஃபார் ஒன் டே ஆர் ஒரு டெஸ்ட் சீரீஸில் வந்து நீங்கள் நல்லா ஸ்கோர் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா உங்களுக்கே நீங்கள் வந்து ஒரு சின்ன செலிப்ரேஷன் வச்சுக்கிறது. தெர் ஆர் லாட் ஆஃப் வேஸ் ஃபார் பாசிட்டிவ் ரீஇன்ஃபோர்ஸ்மெண்ட் how you are preparing. Preparation related நீங்க பாசிட்டிவா உங்களே ரீஇன்ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கோங்கன்னு சொல்றேன், because this is going to be a journey which is difficult. And then is application of your physiological knowledge to the benefit of preparation. So like we all are human beings, we all have blood and flesh, we have all human feelings. So இதை வந்து உங்களோட பெனிஃபிட்டுக்கு எப்படி நீங்க வந்து சேஞ்ச் பண்ண முடியும்? ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் லைக் ஐ வுட் சே நீங்கள் வந்து நார்மலாக ப்ரீத் பண்ணும்போது வந்து உங்களோட லங் கெப்பாசிட்டி 300 liters தான். பட் இதே நீங்கள் வந்து டீப் ப்ரீத் பண்ணும்போது உங்களோட லங் கெப்பாசிட்டி வந்து 2500 liters வரைக்கும் எக்ஸ்பேண்ட் பண்ண முடியும். ஸோ நிறையா லங் கெப்பாசிட்டி அப்படின்னா நீங்கள் நிறைய ஆக்சிஜன் எடுக்கிறீங்க. நிறைய ஆக்சிஜன் எடுக்கும்போது யூ வில் ஃபீல் மோர் எனர்ஜைஸ்ட் அண்ட் மோர் எனர்ஜைஸ்ட் டு டூ எனி ஒர்க். ஸோ தட் இஸ் ஹவ் யூ ஆர். அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு சில விஷயங்கள். அண்ட் மெனி பீப்புள் வுட் ஹேவ் ஹர்ட் தட் லைக் யூ ஆர் சப்போஸ் டு ட்ரிங்க் வாட்டர். எக்ஸாம் எழுதும் போது நிறைய தண்ணி குடிக்கணும், பிரெயினை வந்து ஹைட்ரேட்டடாக வச்சுருந்தா நம்ம வந்து it is a correlation between what you read and what you practice, right? Dehydration ஆச்சுன்னா வந்து உடனே என்ன வரும்? You will feel giddy and மயக்கம் தான் போட்டு விடுவோம் எல்லாரும். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரி உங்களுக்கு தெரிஞ்ச ஃபிசியாலஜிக்கல் நாலேஜ் வந்து உங்களோட ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் பெனிஃபிட் வந்து இன்கார்பரேட் பண்ணு. சாரி, what I mean is that you are imparting your physiological knowledge to help boost your preparation. That's what I'm trying to say. There is also like this evidence. There are a lot of studies and evidence that if you are indulging in physical activity, physical active irundinga ungaloda focus vandu jaasthiya irukum. So even that you can impart in your thing. The last one important point is that you have to be aware on your stance in preparation. Preparation la neenga enga nikkiringa. One thing is that in terms of knowledge na வந்து நல்லா படிக்கிறதா இல்லையா அப்படி, this is a totally how would I say, இது வந்து there is no compulsion that you have to try out and see this. I would not suggest you to completely try out to understand where you stand in terms of knowledge, because some people, if they get to know that they are not preparing enough, they feel degraded. So if you are feeling degraded knowing that you are not preparing well, then I would not suggest you to know where you stand in terms of knowledge. Please don't try that. But if you want to know and improve yourself, if you have a positive attitude towards that, then you can definitely go ahead and find out where you stand in terms of your knowledge for this particular entrance exam. But the second point, the reservation, is something that I will emphasize, reinforce for you to know. ரிசர்வேஷன் பேஸ்டா நீங்க எங்க இருக்கீங்க அப்படிங்கிறது வந்து தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறது ரொம்ப 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 முக்கியம். பிகாஸ் பேஸ்ட் ஆன் ரிசர்வேஷன், இப்போ ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், இஃப் அ பர்சன் இஸ் இன் பிசி கேடர் and if he is assuming that he is in BC cadre and writing the exam, ஃபைனலாக வந்து he might not get seat because in reality அவன் வந்து ஜென்ரல் கேட்டகரியில் இருப்பான். ஸோ அந்த மாதிரியான ஒரு மிஸ் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்டிங் ஆர் இம்பேலன்ஸ் வந்து கிரியேட் ஆகக்கூடாதுங்கிறதுக்காக நான் ரிசர்வேஷன் பற்றி நீங்கள் தெரிஞ்சுக்கோங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறேன். You try to know which category you fall into, whether you fall into general category, OBC. Exam எழுதி முடிச்சா உங்களுக்கு வந்து எந்த கேட்டகரியில் வந்து you are applicable to get into Pondicherry. You should know that. Based on that you prepare. If you are falling into general category, you have to prepare accordingly. If you fall into OBC, you have to prepare accordingly. SC or ST, I wouldn't say that if you're falling into a different category, you should prepare less. I would definitely not say that, because it is writing an entrance exam is always like how would I say, it's like gamble. It is like gamble. I don't know if it is appropriate to use this word, but it is like a gamble because a lot of factors go into play. But reservation is something that you should understand whether which category you are applicable to. According to that, you have to change the course of your preparation. I'm not supporting anything or going against anything. I'm just telling that reservation is important to change the course of your preparation. So going on to the next thing, the important points to be noted are, you have to prepare from textbooks or text or books, and any way of preparation that you want to do, you can do. But I would definitely not suggest you to refer notes, already handwritten notes. That is not something that I will suggest you guys to refer. Handwritten notes is already a consolidation of what is in the books, but so I would not suggest you guys to refer handwritten notes. You can study with புக்ஸ்ல இருந்து படிக்கலாம். புக்ஸ்ல இருந்து இல்ல வீடியோஸ்ல இருந்து ஆடியோ பாட்காஸ்ட்ல இருந்து you can experiment with anything. That is one thing that I will suggest. And practice test papers from quiz or previous year question papers. So this is, as I told earlier, it's for evaluating yourself. I'm just trying to reinforce what I told earlier. So என்னென்ன ரிசோர்ஸஸ் எல்லாம் நீங்க யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் அப்படின்னா, பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டி பாஸ்ட் இயர் பேப்பர்ஸ் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஆல் தட் யூ கேன் யூஸ். டெல்லி யூனிவர்சிட்டி பேப்பர்ஸ் இருக்கு. Even though whether we are applying to Delhi University or not, it doesn't matter. You can use Delhi University papers because anga food science department irukku. 1 or 2 papers you will get. You can try and experiment where you stand. That's the whole point of this. And you can try test series from Telegram quiz bots. Telegram la vandu you have a lot of resources. You can search Telegram and find out what works for you. You can search in Telegram and find out what are all there. You should get to know. Quizzes from LinkedIn, like foodie. There is a page in LinkedIn called as Food Techno Ace, and they are conducting a regular quiz series by the name of Foodie Nicholas. So they give quizzes every Sunday. You can use those resources, and if possible, if you get a copy of that, hard copy or soft copy or whatever, you can try Objective Food Science by Sanjeev Sharma. So this is a last slide. Like I'm just going to give a brief on how some of the people have experimented with preparation. Like they've get on with syllabus. They've prepared the topics from their syllabus and then tried solving question papers. That is one way you can do. Then backtracking from previous year question papers. This one is that you take a question paper, you solve the question paper, whether you know the answer or not, and note down each question from which topic it is from. So by that you will know which topic it is from. You go into the topic, you read the topic and try to find the answer for it. That way, that's one way you can do. After solving the question paper, you find the topics and then read through the topics. Another way of how you can prepare with question papers is that you can take a question, you can go to the topic, you can read the whole topic and then come back to the question and try to find the answer for it. This way you will try to learn more. So these are some of the strategies that we used, or like some of me and my colleagues used. We take no assurance for how this will work for you. There is this general assumption that like one method will work for everyone. This is not like that. Each individual is different. ஒவ்வொருத்தரும் வந்து யூனிக். ஸோ அப்போ வந்து ஒரு சைஸ் வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும், ஒரு மெத்தட் வந்து எல்லாத்துக்கும் வந்து ஃபிட் ஆகும், ஒர்க் ஆகும் அப்படின்னு வந்து சொல்ல முடியாது. ஸோ இட் இஸ் லைக் யூ ஹாவ் டு ட்ரை அண்ட் எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் அண்ட் ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் வாட் ஒர்க்ஸ் ஃபார் யூ. That is the crux and that is important. It is a journey and there is a lot of things that you will understand about yourself, what works for you in terms of learning, what doesn't work for you in terms of learning. So that is the crux and that is what is important. Thank you for the session. Next I call upon Abhirami Anandkumar. She is one of our great charming students from our class, and she bagged 11th rank in Pondicherry University entrance exam last year. I call upon her.
Thank you. Wait, I'll share the screen.
Yeah, please take your time.
Yeah, this is what the course outline is. This is for food science and nutrition. You will have less papers when compared to food technology. The total credit points you have to earn in this course is 72, which will be greater for food technology. The last time will be project work, which will it will cost about 8 credit points, and this is for technology. These are the papers that you will be learning when you are into the university.
Okay, now let's talk about reservation. As Mallika said, it is important for you to know about reservations because being a central university, it is a rule for them to follow. They have to follow reservations. For SC and ST candidates, 15 and 17% respectively, 7.5 respectively, the seats will be allotted. First of all, know the number of seats in nutrition and technology. It is 50 seats for nutrition, and for technology it is 22. The technology students may not get 25% reservation for the Pondicherry category because it is for the whole of the country. Other reservations are OBC candidates, NCL. What does NCL mean is that your parents' annual income should be less than 8 lakhs. Only then you come under this category and you can avail this reservation. For this, you have to produce a certificate that you are coming under OBC category along with an income certificate. If you are coming, be ready with your income certificate, and maybe you can approach your Tahsildar or someone for this certificates. And EWS, which is economically weaker section, for them it is 10% reservation. For differently able candidates, it is 5%. Pondicherry candidate 25%. This 25%, please note, is only for food science and nutrition and not for technology students. Those are aspiring for technology. If you are in Pondicherry, please don't expect this reservation. All this before I was into this university, there were about 15 students in the general category. But last year it was only 10. So the numbers may vary. So to be on the safer side, prepare well if you are coming under general category because the numbers may vary. And now the fee structure. For first semester, you will pay 23,018 rupees, and next semester you will pay 3,200. Third semester you may pay 13,700, and fourth semester it is 3,200. இது எல்லாமே வந்து மாறாமலும் இருக்கலாம். இது வந்து நாங்க இப்ப பே பண்ற அமௌண்ட். யூனிவர்சிட்டி வந்துட்டு சப்போஸ் இதை வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணவும் வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு, கம்மி பண்ணவும் வாய்ப்பு இருக்கு. அதனால இதுதான் அப்படின்னு நீங்க ஸ்டிக் ஆன் பண்ணிக்காதீங்க. அப்புறம் அந்த ஃபீ ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் இஸ் ஒன்லி ஃபார் த அகாடமிக். சப்போஸ் இஃப் யூ ஆர் ஆப்டிங் ஃபார் ஹாஸ்டல், த ஃபீஸ் இஸ் செப்பரேட். ஹாஸ்டல் இதுல வந்துட்டு சப்போஸ் இஃப் யூர் அ கேர்ள், யூ ஹாவ் நோ அகாமடேஷன் ஃபீ உங்களுக்கு கிடையாது. நீங்க வந்துட்டு சாப்பாடுக்கு மட்டும் பே பண்ற மாதிரி தான் இருக்கும். பர் டே இட் இஸ் லைக் இட் இஸ் 65, ஐ எம் ரைட். அடுத்து ஸ்காலர்ஷிப். இதுல வந்துட்டு பாண்டிச்சேரி யூனிவர்சிட்டியில நிறைய ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் தே ஆர் ப்ரொவைடிங். I have listed out what scholarship you will avail. Merit scholarship is for students bagging first 10 ranks or something like that in the entrance examination for the first semester alone. The merit scholarship வந்து உங்களுக்கு first semesterக்கு மட்டும் entrance exam basisல நடக்கும். அதுக்கு அடுத்து வர செமஸ்டர்ஸ் எல்லாத்துக்கும் நீங்க எப்படி வந்துட்டு கிளாஸ்ல பெர்ஃபார்ம் பண்றீங்க, உங்க கிளாஸ்ல என்ன பெர்சன்டேஜ் வாங்குறீங்கிறத பொறுத்து உங்களோட அந்த ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் வந்து இருக்கும். அப்புறம் மெரிட் கம் மீன் ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்னா வந்துட்டு யுவர் பேரண்ட்ஸ் ஆனுவல் இன்கம் ஷுட் நாட் பி கிரேட்டர் தென் 2,50,000. அப்புறம் வந்துட்டு யூ ஹாவ் டு பேக் ஒரு 20 ரேங்க்ஸ்க்கு முன்னாடி இருக்கிற மாதிரி இருக்கிற ரேங்கா இருக்கணும். உங்களோட பேரண்ட்ஸோட இன்கம் வந்துட்டு 2,50,000க்குள்ள இருக்கணும். அப்புறம் வந்துட்டு கவர்மெண்ட் அவைல் பண்றது, இட் இஸ் ஃபார் SC, ST and OBC ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் which you can avail by contacting your Tahsildar or someone. Suppose if you are a single girl child, you can go for Indira Gandhi single girl child scholarship and PG merit scholarship. Suppose if வந்துட்டு you are studying in under Bharatiyar University level, you are getting some ranks, first 3 ranks குள்ளார நீங்க எடுக்கிறீங்க அப்படின்னா you can avail this scholarship. அப்புறம் கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் புதுச்சேரி, this is only exclusively for Pondicherry students. கவர்மெண்ட் ஆஃப் இது வந்து ஃபெல்லோஷிப் PhD பண்றவங்களுக்கும் இருக்கு, ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் வந்துட்டு MSc பண்றவங்களுக்கும் இருக்கு. இது வந்துட்டு நீங்க வந்துட்டு ஒன்னொன்னு இதுல என்னென்ன ஸ்காலர்ஷிப் இது பண்றீங்களோ உங்களுக்கு எது கரெக்ட்னு இருக்கோ அதுக்கான சர்டிபிகேட் நீங்க ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணணும். யூ ஹாவ் டு ப்ரொவைட் தட் பர்டிகுலர் சர்டிபிகேட் so that you can avail the scholarship. You can't just get you can't just get the scholarship by asking for it. You have to provide some details for that. For your notice, these all these things which we shared, which me and my friends shared, or just a gist. இதுக்கு மேல நீங்க எப்படி ப்ரொசீட் பண்ணும், how to proceed further அப்படிங்கறத வந்துட்டு you have to, it is in your hands. You make use of the resources what Mallika shared. Try participating in the quizzes. If you have further doubts, you can just contact us on the WhatsApp group. I hope you have joined the WhatsApp group, many of you. You can put your queries in that. For now, whatever doubts or feedbacks you wish to say, you can say now. Thank you.
Thank you, Abhirami. Yeah, as she told, we have a couple of questions. We have one question from Gatra. Previous year, 2020, a lot of questions were from biotechnology, especially for the food science and technology entrance exam. So, that was her question. So she's asking how we should prepare. Gatra, I actually don't understand your question. Was that really true that a lot of questions from biotechnology came? Because I attended the food science and technology paper, but I didn't find a lot of questions from biotechnology. I don't understand which you exactly mean. If you would like to, can you unmute yourself and speak? Okay. We'll go to next question.
We are having a question from Pooja. She has completed her MSc Food Science and BSc Food Science and Nutrition, but she haven't taken maths in 11th and 12th. Yes, Pooja, you are eligible for opting MSc Food Science and Technology. You can go ahead.
If you do have further queries, Pooja, I think you can refer the university website. Just like how Indumati talked about, the university website has given in detail like what should be there, like what is applicable. If you are applying for food science and technology course, what you should have so that you can apply. So it is given in detail as she has talked about. There is one more question from Rupak. People from different related subjects are coming to study food science. So is there any issue in future if people from different related subjects like fish processing, chemistry, life sciences? Like we can't be judgmental about it because it is who is trying to explore or who wants to do a certain subject. It is their wish. Like we can't tell them like you have to abstain from studying this. That's not possible. Probably there will be a check for their eligibility. Like if you have, for example, for RD exam, if you have to clear RD exam, you should have studied food science and nutrition in both your undergraduate and postgraduate. People who have studied biochemistry in their undergraduate can't go and people who have studied undergraduate in biochemistry and done post-graduation in nutrition can't apply for RD exam. So there might be checks and filters like that, but you can't abstain people or tell people like, no, you should not. That's not possible. Yes, the field is emerging and it has a lot of challenges. So it is up to the people who have to be competent and develop their own skills. If Indu and Abhirami has any more to add to it, please feel free.
Mallika, அவங்க பேசணும் கேக்குறாங்க. One who asked the doubt, he wants to speak it.
You can unmute yourself and speak.
Good morning. This is Rupak speaking from West Bengal. Actually, yeah, some of my query has been addressed already. But my query is that lots of people are telling whenever we are going to take guidance from the senior people, some of the people are telling no, you have to stay in your core field. Some of the people tell okay, you can explore. As a students, they are confusing if they some people have interest to study food, but they are from life science background, so they are confused sometimes. Should they go for food or should they stay there in the life science? So this is the question actually. It is not, yeah, there is certain things. It is very in, in future in different exams there are certain eligibility, that is okay. But if people want to explore, if people want to grow in the food, so if they are coming from the life science background, will they have any problem to study in future, or will they have any problem to get the job in future? Positively where they're eligible. Eligibility matters. That's what my question is. Thank you.
See, it is not like if you are really interested in food, you will definitely get into it. It's not like you have done another major. It is up to you how you shine, how much you love the subject.
I think I will. Go ahead. Okay.
You continue.
Yeah, I think I will agree with what Abhirami is telling, because see, it is basically what it comes to is whether you have or whether you are able to develop a certain set of skills in any job. If you take, that is what it will come to. Yes, you will have difficulty because you are going to take a different major from what you have already studied, but it is up to you. If you are taking a decision, then you should be able to or you should at least develop the resilience to carry out through and complete it. That's what I would say. If Indu has anything to add, please feel free.
Mallika, they are asking about negative markings.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you go ahead. I will ask the next question after you.
Yeah, 100 marks for the questions. Can I speak in Tamil?
Yeah, I don't know. I think you should talk in English.
Yeah, okay. There are 100 questions. You have 4 marks for each question. So if you get a question correct, you'll have 4 marks. And if you get a wrong answer, you get -1. So according to me, if you're not sure about the answer, please don't go for the question. Just skip the question. Go for the next question. It is not like the regular exams we take. Negative markings will affect the rankings. The rankings you get will be affected by the mistakes you do in the entrance exam by taking answer which you don't know. If you are not sure about the answer, please skip the answer. That's what I would suggest. If you are in a double mind, then it is up to you. It is a matter at that moment.
Yes, if she is like what Abhirami said, if you want to answer a question even without being sure of an answer, then I think you are hazarding a risk. If you are willing to take the risk, you can answer the question, but it is up to you. But you should remember that you will have -1 if the answer goes wrong.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Can I just ask a question? Is it okay?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so what I meant by that question is that the last year, many of my friends attended the Food Science and Technology question paper 2020. So they found it difficult because a lot of questions were from biotechnology, as if they said it to me, and I didn't attend the exam of my own. So can you please say about it?
Biotechnology, I still don't understand that perspective, because I would agree that a lot of questions were from food processing and food preservation. Some of the questions were also from unrelated topics. Like you would even wonder why these questions are there. Like we had for food science and technology, I had questions from biology. Asking how long the blood vessels are. Like you wouldn't expect those questions in a food technology paper for that matter. So I still, as I told you, I still don't understand where the biotechnology thing is coming from. But I would say that a lot of questions were from agriculture related also, like botany questions were there, biology questions were there. And as already we discussed, biochemistry was also there. But most of the questions were from food preservation and food processing. A lot of questions were from processing. Yeah.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Placements ಪಟ್ಟಿಯು and ಇನ್ನೊಂದು question placements.
Yes, Fawaz, go ahead.
Once the admission started, how much time it will take to conduct exam?
We really don't know that. You know how the situation is here. All over the India, everyone is undergoing some lockdown or quarantine of sorts. So when the notification comes, we will share it in the group. So probably you will get to know that. Until then, I think there is not much that we or you can do. So I hope you guys will understand and be patient until the university starts giving notification. Yes, I can't hear you properly.
You know, when will be the notification come?
Okay, I'll give you an idea. Last year, the notification came only by September or June, and the exams were conducted by like September, July, and exams were conducted by September. So, see, it takes time. I suppose you should understand that. Okay, I think we have a couple of questions in the chat box. We'll go there. Tisha and Soundarya are again like both of them are asking the same questions. They are asking, will there be any placement in food science or food technology? Will there be any placement? Abhi and Indumati, I suggest you guys to answer this question. For me. Are you? Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Currently, they are not providing any placement in food science and nutrition, or even in food technology stream. In both streams, there is no placement currently. We have to search for ourselves. As we are also in the first year, we are not pretty sure how things go offline. But as far as we heard from our seniors, there is no placement in both food science and nutrition and technology.
See, another thing that I'd like to add is whichever central university or central government institution that you're going, they would not focus too much on placement. That's not the way how things work. So it is up to your potency to explore and try to find works. There are a lot of Telegram groups where job opportunities keep coming. Like you can try those. There is a need for that, but you should be able to get down and do all the groundwork. That is very important. You should be ready to do that.
I just want to add a little bit to this. If you are really interested for placement kind of things, you have to first fix with what you are opting for. Either you want to do need a career in a food industry. If you are looking for a job like a food technologist, just develop the skills that are related to food technology. And do many courses, diploma courses. There are certifications that are available online nowadays. You can opt for that, and you have to increase your network, and you have to search for that.
We have one more question. When is the portal will be open for entrance exam? I suppose that is already answered. There is one more question. Is BSc Botany graduates, are they eligible for MSc Food Science and Nutrition? They are asking that. Indu, would you please like to answer?
I have answered her already in chat box. Food and nutrition. allows to food and nutrition allows people from life science, so she can opt for MS food and nutrition in PU. Yes, please. Vimal, you can proceed.
Yeah, ma'am. Only BSc botany students can apply for the MSc food science, huh?
It's not like that. If you are coming under the life science stream, like either from microbiology, biotechnology, zoology, botany, you know the set of courses coming on life science. No, those people are eligible for taking food science and nutrition.
Okay, ma'am. In case if he is studying BSc nutrition and food science, he can apply for the MSc. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Is there any more questions? You can ask us.
Yeah, there is one question from Pooja Panchal. There is one question from Pooja Panchal. How is the faculty and practical lab services provided in Pondicherry University?
Okay.
Actually, Pooja, we are studying through online mode. This is our first year MSc. Actually, we have not yet seen the university as of now. So, I can't really say. Faculties are good. They are good. But I can't say about labs because I have not seen it for myself. I guess I have answered you.
Faculties, I just want to add a little bit to that. Faculties are from diversified fields. Each faculty will be expert in their subject. So you need not to worry about the faculties. They are really supportive, and during this pandemic time, they are a little bit flexible to keep the classes also. They will hear you and hear your opinion. From faculty side, you need not to bother very much at all. Coming to practical lab services, as Abhirami said, we haven't visited a university yet. We are also yet to explore that. Sorry, we can't answer for that.
Entrance exam as of now is offline. Akhil Naseem. Entrance exam is as of offline. You'll go to a center, you'll appear physically, and they'll give a
Abhirami, can you just pause for a minute? Yeah. All the participants, please mute yourself so that what she is talking is audible to others. Yeah, Abhi, please continue.
Yeah, as of now it is offline, but we can't say. Things may change because we are in a condition of uncertainty now. And there is another question. Will questions come from human physiology for food science? As Mallika already said, it depends on the person who is taking the question. It will actually come from, there will be a bit of human physiology also because it is important for nutrition students. I guess there will be questions from human physiology too. It depends on the faculty who is taking the question paper.
And the labs had questions for human physiology, so you can expect two from physiology. Yes, Malika.
Guys, please don't repeat your questions. I do totally understand that you guys want to ask more questions, but please be kind and don't repeat your questions. Questions that have already been answered, because I see a lot of questions for which we have given answers already coming again. So please don't ask the questions that you asked already and the answers have been given. So if you have any more different questions, you can go ahead. Else I think it is good for us to end the session. Okay, so for once and clear, I am telling, for exams, entrance exam, you have to be present in person at the center, and the exam will be, you will write the exam in a computer. So that's how the exam goes on. Okay. So you have to be present in person in an exam center near your place, or might be a little far away from your place. That's how the exam happens. I hope that's clear. Please don't ask the same question again. I hope you will appreciate it.
There is another question. Shama said yes. Chemistry graduate. She's a chemistry graduate and want to know whether you are eligible because chemistry comes under life science category. So you can go ahead and apply for it.
So if there are no more questions, we have a couple of questions coming. Any other college in Tamil Nadu with MSc Food Science and Technology? MSc Food Science and Technology, I am really sorry, Raj, I'm not aware of that. Yes, I'm not aware of that. Okay, so does faculty encourage students to write published papers? So in Food Science and Nutrition or Food Science and Technology department, the students are asking whether they can write and publish papers. Guys?
Sorry to say, but we haven't explored it for ourselves because it is online. So I hope you understand our situation. Because we haven't seen the faculties in person as of now. So once you are into the university, you will, I guess they will appreciate you if you are very much interested. They will allow you.
There are many questions popping up now.
Yeah, Soundarya Laha is asking a question. As we told, as someone, I think Abhirami answered that question already, Soundarya. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. So the thing is that you have 55%, you should have 55% in your PSC, and you have to clear the entrance exam to get into Pondicherry University. So that's how the drill is. I hope that answers your question. And
we have asked what's the number of seats, I guess. I don't know. He has mentioned it as 50 for Food Science and Nutrition and 22 seats for Food Science and Technology.
So there is one more question. Will the questions come from +2 and +1 NCERT biology textbooks? Yeah, Indu, please go ahead.
And there will be some of the basic questions that you can answer that. That will be very basic and simple questions. You need not to stress yourself on reading the whole NCERT books and all. Yeah, there will be questions coming from that. That will be easy only.
Can you please suggest more colleges or university for Food Science and Nutrition? And please also tell about women.
Ma'am, can you explain how many seats are there still for Food Science and Biology?
I suppose that was answered earlier. 50 seats for Food Science and Nutrition and 22 for Food Science and Technology. It has been answered earlier and you are asking the same question. I hope you will understand. We have others to answer also. Yeah, some people are actually asking for suggestions for more Food Science and Nutrition colleges. Indu, please go ahead.
Wait a second. Can you repeat that?
Yeah, she's asking, can you please suggest more colleges or university for Food Science and Nutrition?
Oh, Food Science and Nutrition.
Yeah.
Regionally, there are many universities and colleges providing courses on Food Science and Nutrition. Are they asking for especially Tamil Nadu or all over India?
I think she's asking, I can't decipher her where she's from. But I think she's asking for all over India. can suggest a couple, and then we can go to the next question.
Okay. There are universities like Delhi University. There are many Mumbai-based universities there. SNDV, I think so. In Tamil Nadu, from Madurai American College, I think they are providing food science and nutrition. Please go and search for that. We are not ready with the list to share with you.
Yeah,
You can share. You can
she's
search. You will get that.
I think Indu is being right. We are giving an orientation for Pondicherry University exam, and I think we are kind of deviating to another topic. So if you could please keep the questions too with respect to Pondicherry University entrance exam, it will be great. Yeah, we have.
Okay, they are asking about other colleges, but currently we don't have such a list. You can search in online. You will get that. And
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
there are some questions related to disability, right?
Yeah, we can actually help you with whatever we are aware. But more than that, if you have any more questions, I'm really sorry. But if you have to add anything, Indu, you can go ahead.
If someone is asking, they are from a agriculture background and they are eligible for food science and nutrition. Yeah, you can take that. Even you are from agriculture graduate, you are allowed to take that. The next question is about someone is from a military background.
Indu, I think it is time for us. It's almost like 12:30. We really appreciate you coming up with more questions, but I think it's time for us to wind up the session. Could we please go ahead with the vote of thanks?
Yeah, thank you all for your patience, and we are expecting many of you from here to join us in the university. We will help you wherever you want us, wherever you feel like if you are in a doubt or a dilemma whether to choose the university or not, we'll help you for everything. Feel free to ask doubts. The WhatsApp group link is in the chat box. Please do join. We'll do as much we can. We'll help you out. Thank you for your patience listening. Thank you.
And if any of you guys are willing to give your feedback on how the session was, could you please unmute yourself and speak or put a message in the chat box?
Thank you very much for such beautiful session, and we'd like to have such session in future if it is possible. The last thing, I don't know should I ask or not, but still, if it is been answered, if time permits, it will be helpful for us. Somebody has asked a question that they have undergone a course of fisheries at BSc level, and they would like to have get into the food technology, food science and technology. So is it okay for sit for the exam in food science and technology? Thank you very much.
We really appreciate you asking, Rupa, but we all three of us are from food science and nutrition background. I'm sorry, we can't help you much regarding that.
I guess you can take for food science and nutrition. I guess I have a classmate here studying fisheries. I guess so. You can take, I think. I'll clear you once I'll clear you this in the chat, in the WhatsApp group. Is that okay?
Yeah, it is okay. It is fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for coming up and talking about the session, Nora. I think the session is over and the participants can leave the meeting.
Have a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah, have a wonderful afternoon.